Anyway, let me now go over instances in which this method may fail. And I have to be thorough with my delivery here. I can't be like the salesman who tells you, no, this thing's never going to fail. No, this method will fail. Now, I'm going to show you a couple of examples. What are we doing with this method? We're following an approach that makes sense, but we're saying we can't guarantee an optimal solution. We can't guarantee that our solution will be the best. And what we gain is the ability to solve a problem quickly. But other than that, you can't make false promises here. Let me give you an example. Let's assume here. Let me change ink color here. Okay. Let's assume this is the whole universe. 9 things we need to cover, 9 stores we need to visit, 9 friends we need to contact. And maybe this is again another example might be cell phone signal. Where do you build the towers so that you reach the largest number of people? So anyway, you have in this example, you have 3 rows and 3 columns. So we have a total of 9 things you would like to cover. And the interesting thing is that we have one very able person who will take care of these 3. This is number 1. So that's a possible choice. You have another very able person who can do the middle row. So this is your representative number 3. You have another person. What's another nice color here? Another person who can do the 3rd row and the 3rd column. And you're saying, oh, this is great because I can hire 3 people to do this. Well, I'll hire the 3 of them and I'll cover the entire universe. Yes, that's right. Except that you can only you can only hire 2 individuals. And by the way, late arrival, we are told that there is another person who can do the bottom row. So this is number 4. Okay, so this is example number 1 of how things may fail with the algorithm. Remember, the algorithm starts empty and then goes for the maximum coverage. Okay, it goes for the maximum coverage. Okay, so let's change ink, please, ink color. So we're going to start on empty. Step number 1, select a rep, in this case, that can give you maximum coverage. Well, I have number 1 who can cover 3 places, number 2 can cover 3 places, number 3 can cover 3 places, number 4 can cover 3 places. And how do you break a tie? Well, you break ties like in most other places in optimization. You break ties arbitrarily. Okay, so let's say the algorithm, you flip a couple of coins and somehow you decide to start with number 4. Okay, so let's do that. we're gonna cover these three. But number four, you are hired. So what's the second step of the method? The method says step number two, the next rep is the one adding the largest number of new, I should say, sorry about that, erase, of new sets covered, okay? New coverage, covered places. So what are the candidates? Number one, you can see that number one would end up adding two new places because the one at the bottom has been done already. We have the ability to maybe hire number two, but also it's only two new places. And then we have the ability to also hire number three, but it's only two places. So how do we break a tie? We break a tie arbitrarily. So arbitrarily, let's select number one. So what's the total coverage? Then if we select number one, the total coverage will be, what is it? 5, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the total coverage equals 5. And please note the following. Let's rebuild the problem. Let's start from scratch. If by choosing arbitrarily, we had started with number two, for example. This is number two. Then we would have a couple of, this is step number one. Select rep number two. So as part of step number two, you can select 1, 3, or 4. 4 is the one horizontal. You can see that 1 brings 3 new, 3 brings 3 new, and 4 only brings 2 new. So you can see clearly here that you would select either 1 or 3 for a total coverage of 6. Okay, which is a better solution than if you had selected the first one. Okay, so that shows you an example of how things can go wrong. Let me repeat the problem now, but assume that you can hire 3 people. Okay, let's see what happens when you can hire 3 people. Hold on. Okay, in this new example, we have the same 9 choices. And the same 3 reps. This is number 1. This is number 2. This is number 3. Now they're horizontal, okay, just to give you some variety. And we're gonna have a number 4 that happens to be vertical. Okay, but this, we were able to increase the budget, which is good news. So the budget is to hire 3 reps. I think all of us would immediately jump at the opportunity to hire, you know what the optimal is, right? The optimal would be to hire 1, 2, and 3 and cover the entire network. 1 row, 2nd row, 3rd row, and you cover the entire method. But remember, the algorithm doesn't know that. The algorithm is not an intelligent one. Maybe we can use AI to consider this problem. And this is a very small problem. You have a very large problem. This might be a daunting thing to do. But let's say the method starts again with an empty set. But again, unluckily for us, the method chooses number 4. Okay, so and we're gonna hire only 3 people. So chooses number 4. Here you go. We start with a beautiful coverage of 3. Okay, so here's number 4 doing what they're supposed to do. So what are our choices now? For step number 2, this is step 1. We could do any of those, and with any of those, we're going to cover any of those. So any of those will cover 2 cities, 2 places, 2 friends. Okay, let's say because we're doing this arbitrarily, we select number 3. Okay, 3. Okay. Step number 3, because we need 3 reps. You have either number 1 or number 2. You can see that in either case, you'll do 2 new. And okay, so let's say we choose number 2 arbitrarily because we're gonna flip a coin that they're even. And the maximum coverage, unfortunately, is only 7 when you know the maximum is 9. Again, it has failed us to work, to produce a good result. Okay, so anyway, let me make a pause here. I'll be back in a second with more. So we could say that the maximum possible coverage is 9, but the minimum possible is 7 when all goes wrong. In our case. I want you to look at this example now. We have a total universe. What's the universe? Everything that we want to cover here. The whole universe is the whole universe. Has 36 circles, right? Again, this could be friends. This could be cell phone receivers, whatever you 36 stores, and we have k equals 3. That, what does that mean? The budget calls for 3 reps only. Okay, so this is what we were able to find out. Okay, we have a rep who has a bunch of expertise in this area. This is number 1. we have another rep that has a bunch of expertise. Oh, here, let me use another color. Has a bunch of expertise in this top area of town. This is number 2. Of course, we have another one who can cover this area, number 3. And then we have a number 4. We have a number 4 who, oh, sorry, number 4 goes all the way to the top. Hold on. Number 3. Number 4 covers this whole area of town. Made the wrong drawing just a second ago. Okay, so we have 3 possible hires, and what? We have another one. We have a number 5. Yes, we do. Okay, let me tell you who number 5 is. This is number 5, who can only visit these 4 places. I don't know if anybody who would hire number 5 for the same amount of money, assuming the person is equally capable. I don't see that, but anyway, let's keep going. Okay. So this is to show you that the method might make a mistake. Okay. Remember, in step number 1, we start on empty, and then you need to choose the maximum possible coverage. What are our choices? Number 1 will give us 12. Number 2 will give us 12. Number 3 will give us 12, and number 4 will give us 12. Number 5 only gives us 4, so 5 doesn't figure in this analysis. We're gonna break ties arbitrarily. We're gonna maybe flip a coin. The winner of the coin flip goes on to the final or whatever. And let's say we manage to choose number 2. By the way, I hope you can tell me that I should stop, because the optimal solution calls for what? Numbers 1, 3, and 4 will cover the entire city, right? And that's easy. We're just pretending we don't know what's happening here, and we're letting the method do what it does. Okay, give us maybe a good solution, hopefully a good solution. So we're gonna choose number 2. That's our first choice. All these have been covered. And that calls for what? That calls for step number 2. What do we have? We have number 1. They could give us 8 new clients. Number 3, 8 new. Number 4, 8 new. Number 5, 4 new. Okay, so this is gone. Number 5 is gone, but we need to flip a coin or somehow break the tie between 1, 3, and 4. So let's say we go for number 4. Okay, it's arbitrary. It's an arbitrary choice. You're welcome to try one of the others. So we're going to choose number 4. Do we need a third step? Yes, you bet. We need a third step. Why? Because we have three reps. Step 3, we have two choices. Number 1, who will give us 8 new. Number 3, who would give us 8 new. And number 5, who would only give us 2 new. So 5, sorry, you're out. And let's say that arbitrarily, we select number 1 with these 8. Okay, so you can see that in this case, the maximum is 36 all, right? How would you accomplish 36? By doing reps 1, 3, and 4. But the method that we followed gave us 36 minus 8. That's 28, right? Yeah, 12, 12 and 4 is 28. So it's not an optimal solution. Okay, so it's interesting that sometimes the method fails. Okay, sometimes the method fails. Okay, I think you're ready to go over some homework, which I'm going to assign is going to flash on Canvas.